Hello, everyone. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Rick Surrency, Superintendent of the Putnam County School District in Florida. We're going to talk about the need for AI and STEM education in rural and underserved America. Not too long ago, Fusemachines team worked with Dr. Surrency to create and deploy an AI training workshop called AI2Go in Putnam County's QI School. This program now has matured into a full-fledged fall semester course. On our respective journeys of working towards creating equitable AI and STEM education opportunities, we've met many challenges and created innovative approaches along the way. Today, we hope to explore them and take a stock of where we are with STEM and more specifically, AI education in underserved communities in America. Dr. Surrency's work on bringing STEM and AI education in Putnam County has been truly inspiring to many of us. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Rick Surrency.
Thank you, Dr. Maskey. It's certainly a pleasure to be here and looking forward to our conversation.
Let's begin by exploring the state of STEM education in Putnam County and how it compares to the rest of the U.S.
First of all, let me just say a little bit about Putnam County. Putnam County is out of 67 counties in the school districts in the state of Florida. We are one of the poorest counties, and we're also very rural. We have 10,500 students, and we're considered to be a small district in Florida. But again, we have the most government housing of any county in the state, and probably one of the lowest in the entire United States. So we do have a truly underserved community. However, we, through STEM and through AI education, we are looking at giving our students an opportunity that most school districts, small rural school districts, don't have. And I feel personally that it is our mission to provide equitable technological instruction for our students, regardless of what zip code they live in. So I'm a true believer that this AI initiative that we're doing is going to give our students the opportunity that across the United States, especially in urban school districts, those students by choice can have those opportunities. But because of where we're located and because of the lack of funding, by working with strategic partners like our local STEM2 Hub, through Fusemachines, by having those partnerships, we are able to gain access to STEM education and artificial intelligence that we've never had before, and I can't be more excited.
How do you think other underserved communities in the US should go about programs such as AI2Go, the program we got a chance to work on together? What do you think are the impacts of AI2Go program in Putnam County, and how do you think it can help create impact elsewhere?
Well, that's a great question, and actually my staff and I have actually been on a speaking tour, sharing with other districts around our state and around the United States, just to share that we are a model. I mean, we are an example of how a small rural school district, through partnerships and by being open to opportunities like this, you can provide this instruction to your students. So I would encourage other small rural school districts, if nothing else, to come and meet with me or let us share what we're doing, just to see this can be a reality. You know, don't let your current circumstances dictate your future opportunities. So, but again, it's going to take partnerships. And I can't stress enough, small rural school districts must be open to partnering with other entities, like I've discussed, where you can yield that power, if you will, to access technology. And I would just encourage superintendents from other districts just to be open to that. And feel free to pick up the phone or email me, and I'm sure you'll provide that information. And I can share with them how Putnam County is really on the cutting edge of great things to come because of our partnership with Fusemachines.
It's so true. If a county like yours with the most government housing is able to do this, be at the cutting edge of training programs, then other school districts can do it too. I think they can listen to what you have to say and why your model is so impactful and learn from it to be able to deploy such programs in their respective counties.
And I say in our presentations, you know, we have access to a Columbia University professor through the power of technology, and that would be you, Dr. Maskey. And how many small rural school districts have that ability? And again, I think this past year with using Zoom technology, it has really opened up doors. If there's any positive effect to this pandemic, it has really shown us that we can access so many more things through Zoom and through just being me able to meet like you and I are right now. This has really opened doors up for our students. Our students learn, this is second nature to our students now. So we can now yield that power to access information from Columbia University that we would never have the opportunity to do otherwise.
Definitely. This has been a great example of good partnership of coming together of academia, industries, and school districts.
And we've done that already. We partnered with some other industry just to bring in STEM education. So absolutely, I can't agree more.
We're also thinking about the impact of AI education for policymakers, decision makers, be it, decision makers of school districts or government officials, and so forth. Who, in your opinion, you think are the key decision makers and players within the education sector, who, in your opinion, can benefit from AI training in terms of helping them learn about AI and learn about all the technologies related to AI to shape the policy decisions?
Yeah, and I think first of all, at the school district level, I believe the superintendent, drives that, and that's the person that really casts that vision for the district. But a lot of that has to do, and that's an excellent question. A lot of that has to do with state level support as well, and the federal government. But I think our superintendents in each of our states need to be able to talk to their legislative delegation, through their legislatures, to discuss how can we fund this. Yeah, again, we fund this through benevolent partners who help us access that funding. But again, we can really yield a lot more power, if you will, through the state funding this, because this is technology of the future. And if our states are not aware of this is where industry is going, if they don't put money towards that, and again, a lot of them do through industry certifications. They support our CTE programs and our STEM programs. Each state funds that differently, but if our state decision makers can provide funding to support these programs, this will really empower us to do more. But right now, we are funding this through again the benevolence of our partners. For example, our when I took office, I'm an elected superintendent, by the way, which is much different than a lot of superintendents around the nation. But I was in a Chamber of Commerce meeting 5 years ago, and I had one of the largest industries in our local community, which is a paper mill, actually approached me and said, I would like for Putnam County to consider, in their school district, to consider starting an advanced manufacturing program, because our workforce is starting to retire and we need replacements. And not only just having machine workers, we need highly trained, highly technical trained graduates with these certifications to be able to step in and take over. So I just said, we do not have funding to do that. If you are willing to help with startup costs, then we could do that. Well, they put their money where their mouth was, and they actually provided funding, and we started that advanced manufacturing program. And for the first time, we graduated certified people in advanced manufacturing. So we are meeting those local needs. So again, those decision makers, not only are they government, they need to be your local business and community members who also appreciate the fact that this is where industry is going now through AI and other STEM related careers.
On a similar note, among decision makers who can help create and partake in AI training programs, what are some things state and local governments should do to encourage more superintendents to run similar programs?
Well, I think having opportunities, for example, we have meetings around our state all the time with superintendents meet and different educational groups meet. As a matter of fact, last week in the state of Florida, we had computer science teachers statewide met, virtually. So I think if our decision makers can provide venues where people can come together and share that information, together, where they can collaborate, where they can see what other districts are doing, to me, that would be a good avenue of promoting AI education, is having different meetings, conferences where that is part of the focus of those conferences. If I understand your question right, so
Yeah,
I think, yeah, our state, again, we have state conferences and we have national conferences too, where more than one state can come together. Matter of fact, I'm actually partnering with a superintendent in Colorado, and I'm in Florida, and I'm actually going to go visit his district in September, and we're actually going to go to his innovation center. And I've taken some of my team members, and we want to look at what is, because he also has artificial intelligence, but he is a larger district. But we are looking at ideas that we can share and I can bring back to our county. As a matter of fact, I feel very proud that he has, through our collaboration, he has actually taken some ideas that we are doing in our small district,
very
and he
nice.
is yielding in his large district. And I feel very honored that he would take some ideas, and that's through our teleconferencing technology, because we can teach a class in one school, and through the power of teleconferencing, through large TV screens and microphones, another classroom can learn at the same time with one teacher. And especially with computer science teachers, we are doing the same thing in our county because computer science teachers are kind of limited, so we have to be able to use that technology to take advantage of that one teacher. So that one teacher can teach two classes at the same time through the use of technology. And I envision that not only we could do that within our district, we could also do that from one school district to another school district. And again, taking advantage of the certification of that teacher. But
True.
again, collaboration is key. We have to set up venues where superintendents and other school district decision makers can share ideas and learn from each other. And that I'm a big one on doing that. Education moves a little bit slower than the rest of the world, but once it catches on, then it really catches on. So it's starting
True.
slow right now, but I think you're going to see some critical mass
Yeah.
in the future, especially as we see students graduate with AI certification and they get high paying, high demand jobs. I think that will really create that critical mass and people will see the value of artificial intelligence.
Are you witnessing a change in how AI education is perceived by the Putnam County community now that the program's been running for a while? Are students excited for this kind of education, and do they want more?
Well, we've, through the AI2Go, that has really created um, a big hum in our community. Our students are talking about it. Matter of fact, our principal from the school where we are piloting artificial intelligence has actually released a video in the last few days for the beginning of school, and he is talking about AI2Go. So that's creating a real uptick in interest, and I really think our community is embracing that. As a matter of fact, I'm giving a speech next week to some of our community, and I'm actually going to share this information with them. So again, we are a voice in our community, and I think when people see that this is really on the forefront of education, and this is how our community can provide jobs, not only in our local community, we can also provide jobs and careers in our region. We're in the Jacksonville region, and Jacksonville is pretty progressive, so we can see we'll see there are many opportunities in years to come with through AI and STEM careers.
As more students graduate from these training programs and earn good opportunities, I'm sure others will be inspired to join as well. This brings to my last question. How do you think the program running in Putnam County will help create jobs and fight poverty?
That's an excellent question. And, I think that's something we have to look at, universally across our nation. We have to be able to break the cycle of poverty, and we have to be equitable. And that's why I'm saying we have to have ways that students in the early grades, and I want to stress this, we can't just offer this and open up these opportunities to just our high school students. In Putnam County, we have created a K-12 STEM curriculum where students, not only after school, but they are exposed to STEM opportunities during the school day. And we're trying to build that interest. Matter of fact, in Putnam County, we have a STEM van and we have a STEM specialist, Mikey Helms, who goes from different elementary schools and really exposes our children to STEM opportunities, which includes AI. And again, we're building that interest. So when they get to sixth grade, they actually begin the process of taking a daily class in STEM. And then when they get into junior high school and high school, they will begin those career pathways. So we are really trying to build that system, that systematic approach to STEM and AI throughout our school district. So again, to answer your questions, we can fight poverty by equitably giving all of our kids the same opportunity, and especially for those underserved kids, really nurturing them. And if they show interest in this, really help them and maybe help guide them in this direction where they can take advantage of this. And I am so excited to see students who otherwise may not have this opportunity, especially our underserved students, to be able to gain this access. And I think we will see as time goes by, these students who might come from an underserved area in our county will rise above and be able to really succeed and excel, and they'll become models for their peers. So this will really turn poverty around and eliminate poverty in the long term. We may not see it in our lifetime, but we are planting a seed now that will create a future for later. So I'm just glad to be a part of that.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. Do you have any final words on AI education for rural and underserved America?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing, and this is a uh, personal testimony, if you will. But if you've ever heard Simon Sinek, a very
Yeah.
renowned author, and he gives a lot of TED Talks, he talks about the why, the why and what we do. And the why of what we're doing, why we're doing AI and STEM in Putnam County is we want all kids, no matter what zip code they live in, to have the same access as any other child in the United States. But I have a personal why. And I'll just have to share a very touching story. I have a 6-year-old granddaughter who was normal when she was born, but she has developed a very rare genetic condition called Rett syndrome, RETT, Rett syndrome. And essentially, it affects little girls, and it really they begin to regress. And she can't speak, she cannot use her hands, and it really limits her. And essentially, she has a normal IQ, but she has no output. She has no way to reach out and communicate with the world. Through the power of AI and assistive technology, the power is my granddaughter has the ability with technology to connect with the world. And this is so powerful. This is so meaningful for me that there are other children out there that are trapped in their bodies that otherwise, if it was not for technology, they could not communicate at all. I'm going to share with you 2 video clips. One is my granddaughter saying "I love you" using a laptop called a Toby, and this is eye gaze technology where she can actually look at an icon on a screen, and it will look at her pupils and will actually talk for her. So you will see a video clip of that. I also have a very brief clip of her being fed by a robot. Again, using artificial intelligence This robot sits on the table, will actually pick up food with a spoon and feed my granddaughter, and all she has to do is hit a button. So again, that's my personal why. That's why I'm in this business, because there are many children who need that extra support through technology. And I can't be more proud to be a part of this. And I am so proud to be a partner with Fusemachines, and just look forward to what's going to happen in the future, especially next year in Putnam County. So thank you for having me, Dr. Maskey. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Surrency. Your work is truly inspiring. And thank you so much for being here and talking about your work at Putnam County. I hope it will inspire a lot of other school districts in the United States. This has been a very enlightening conversation. I hope to continue our partnership and look forward to bringing newer and better education opportunities in Putnam County, as well as other undersourced and underserved communities in the United States in the coming future. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Dr. Maskey, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.